Okay, so today we're going to put a pre-made layout on our brand new RPMe account. So let's go ahead and open up our browser. Here's roleplayer.me and we're going to sign in. Here's my account. Here we are. Okay, so just to show you what the profile should look like if it's brand new, something like this. Something like this. Nice and blank slate. So we're going to go back home. This is the area, spot where we're going to add our layout. It's in here. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. Okay, so here we are. This is our edit profile page. And as you can see, it's blank right now because we don't have any pre-made layout on there. So I like to use a site called Eyes on Fire. There's many other resource sites out there, but I would say Eyes on Fire is like my go-to. I really like the work that is done there. So some of my favorite profiles come from there. I'd say actually most of my profiles come from there. So I have added them already. I'm going to go ahead and go visit them. And we always want to find the rules. Oh, here it is. It's right there. This is our rules section. And we're going to click on that. Rules. We always want to assign the rules for the resource sites because they work really hard, and I feel like if that's all they're asking for is for you to sign rules, why not just quickly read through them? Read through these. I have signed rules for Eyes on Fire all the time, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign. Sometimes these sites have a specific way that they want you to sign the rules, so it's a good idea to check it out and read it and not just sign understand or read or whatever. Just, it doesn't take very long. Post the comment, back, and let's see if it went through. Sure did. Okay, so here we are. At the very top, we have signed it, and now we're going to go into their layout section. Now, I'm seeing that they are under construction, so as you can tell, I just switched tabs. Their layout section is not in a place where you could easily find it, but luckily I have bookmarked them. So I was able to very quickly just go into my bookmarks and find their layout. So this is their layout section, and it's nice because not a lot of these places have a picture of what their layout looks like, but they do, and they're very good about keeping up with it. And so today we're going to work on this one here that's called Maneater. So as you can see, there is two buttons here. There's a preview button and there's also a download button. So what we're going to do is go ahead and click on that preview button. And that's going to show us what our layout's going to look like, what it's intended to look like once we put it on. I think this is a pretty good place to start. It's not too complicated. We do see that we have several images here. If you don't want to put that many pictures, it's very easily fixed. We also seem to have a music player on this side, also very easily to get rid of, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to try to just move this layout into our account, onto our profile. So we're going to go back now. And this time, we're going to go ahead and click on this download button, also on the Maneater layout. Download button is going to take us to Add a Fly. And up here we can see we're just waiting on a countdown. And then we can click skip add. And here's our layout. It does look a little intimidating at first, but it's actually not too difficult to figure out. What we're looking for is little signs like these. These here are called comments, and we're going to find these. This is how we're going to know where to split our code, like what section is going to go where. So as we can tell here, this section here would go in the headline, and this section down here, this and the rest of it that is underneath would go into the About Me section. This section would go into the headline, as I said before, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to do, just to make our lives a whole lot easier, is we're going to go scrolling all the way down to the bottom. I like to do this just because I feel like it's a lot easier, but you guys do whatever is easier for you. What I'm doing here is I'm highlighting it and I'm going to copy it. Then we're going to open WordPad. Okay, you can use Word or you can use WordPad. I'm going to use WordPad today. Let's open WordPad and we're going to paste. There we are. Okay, so you start at the very top of the page here. I'm going to move this off to the side and click on this. Go back to the home page on our browser. Go back home on our PME. And now this setup is a lot easier for me because I can see the layout here, what I'm working on, and on this side of the screen I can see the code. We're going to go right into edit my profile. And you see here we are again on edit my profile. Scroll down just a little bit so I can get a good look at. Usually what the code's going to ask for is these three boxes right here. It's going to say About Me here, Like to Meet, and then underneath it should say Interest. So these three boxes here, About Me, Like to Meet, and Interest. Usually that's where it'll go. Sometimes you'll have one where it only uses 2 boxes. I don't think I've ever seen one that uses 4, but who knows, maybe. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our code here. As we can see, we're going to start with the headline code. Our headline code here, headline code is here. So we're going to copy this headline code. Copy that. Oh, here we are. And we're going to put it into our headline. And there it is. There's our headline code. We just moved it, we just copied it and moved it over. Now we're going to go to the next section here that says About Me, and all the code that's underneath the About Me, all of that is what you're going to highlight. And this is where you're going to have to be really careful, because if we scroll down, oh, well, if it unfreezes and it lets me scroll down, there we go. If we scroll down, we can see that it's quite a bit. Sorry, this might be getting me a little dizzy, but just bear with me a little bit. I'm going to hit the bottom at some point. Here we are. Okay, it's quite a bit. And as you can see, there's not a huge space where About Me and Who I'd Like to Meet ends. And this right here would be Who I'd Like to Meet. That's for a different box. You don't want to put the About Me section into a different box like the Who I'd Like to Meet, and you don't want to put the Who I'd Like to Meet into the About Me box. You're going to have to just be very, very careful when it comes to highlighting, but it's not hard at all. I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so usually what I'll do is I'll go back to the top. Oh, went too far. About Me, here we are. So we're going to go ahead and highlight, starting underneath About Me. To make your life easier, actually, let's delete. We've already done the headline, so let's just get rid of all of this. Get rid of it. It's gone. Just, easier. So let's go to About Me. We're going to highlight all the way down to the bottom. Here we go. Try to do it a little slowly because you're going to hit that spot and it's just going to be bad if you break it up. It's going to be really hard. Oh, here we are. Okay, so that's where we're going to stop. And we're going to, once again, well, I'm going to cut it this time. So we'll cut it out, cut, and paste under About Me. You see this About Me box here, the first box. That's the box where we're going to paste what we just cut. So we're going to paste it now. Here it is. Scroll right back up to the top. Here's our code. Okay, so we're going to go right back over here to the code, and we see that we have just done the About Me. About Me section is empty because we cut it out. Now we're going to do Who I'd Like to Meet, which would go into the Like to Meet box. Okay, once again, we're going to scroll very carefully, just in case there is another section at the bottom for the interests. Oh, goodness, I'm having a hard time here. Sorry. Okay. Oh, there we are. Okay, let's go slower, just so that I can have, okay, see, here are some more comments for Code Player. Oh, there it is. I went too far. Okay, so we're going to stop right before interests. And once again, I'm going to right click and cut that section. See, interest, we stop just short of interests. This is for the other box. It does not belong in any of the About Me box or the Like to Meet box. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our Like to Meet box here. We've done About Me, we've done headline. Now we're doing Like to Meet, and we're going to paste what we just cut out. And scroll back up to the top. There's our code. We're going to scroll this page a little bit higher so we can see our interest box. So now we move back over to our text. We've done About Me. We've done Who I'd Like to Meet. And now we're moving on to the interests. So I think for this layout, this is the last bit of code. So we're going to go ahead and once again highlight and cut. Start at the beginning very slowly, just in case. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen anything occupy a fourth box, which would be the music box, but I'm sure that it's out there and I just haven't seen it. So we're going to cut this out again, cut out what we highlighted, back to our interest box here, and paste. Scroll back up to the top. Here we are. All right, make this one bigger because we are done with this. You see we did the About Me section. We've done the About Me section. We've done Who I'd Like to Meet, and we've done interest. And the pad here is empty. Our little word pad is empty, so we're done with the word pad. We can exit out of that. Don't save. And here it is. Our boxes are filled, and we're ready to go down to the bottom of our page. Scroll down to the bottom. Oh, we're freezing up again. Here we go. And save changes. And now that we've saved the changes, we've moved our layout, we've saved the changes, we're ready to view our profile, which is this guy right here. Oops, sorry. Used the wrong tool there. This guy right there. Let's go ahead and click on that one. Waiting for it to load. I'm really sorry, but Chrome for some reason likes to give me a hard time about loading things. It just takes a year and a half to load it. We should get, oh, there it is. That is exactly what was promised to us. This is the layout that Maneater was supposed to look like, the example that they gave us. And this is our profile, which is, aside from the default picture, exactly what we're looking for. Now the only thing, I'm going to go through two more things here with you so far as making our layout functional, which requires us to go home. When you have a brand new layout, I personally think it's a really good idea to make our layout private, because sometimes we have people who like to steal our artwork without permission. I don't know why, but they're out there. So we're going to make that at least a little bit more difficult. We're going to go to my account, which is up here on this corner, and we get all of our account information here, all of our tools. From here, we're going to go to this section over here. And in this section over here, we're going to look for this button that is Profile Privacy. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. Profile Privacy. On Profile Privacy, we see that right now, since this is a brand new account, we have our profile as public. I don't like to keep it as public. I don't want it public, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to make it private. Sorry, private. And save the change. Done. Now my profile is private. Now people have to add me in order to see my profile, in order to contact me. So we're done with that. We're going to go ahead and go home. The next thing we have to do is we have buttons. Let's go into our layout again. Click on our picture, go into our layout. We have buttons on this layout. Specifically, we have buttons that are user-friendly. People who come in to visit us, want to comment us, want to message us, want to see our pictures, so on and so forth. We have buttons over here on this side of the screen to make that possible. So what we need to do, or when you get a brand new layout, it usually comes with, unless it's custom made for you, your buttons will not be workable. Your buttons will have been directed to go to either RPMe or the credited site, or we'll just have a bunch of X's, and generally it just will not work. So what we need to do is change that. We need to make our buttons workable. And that, in order to do that, we need to go to the very top here. At the very top, there is this address here, roleplayerme 1012990. In my case, it has this number. Every layout has a different number. This number is important because this is your user ID. This is the number here that we're going to copy into our buttons on our layout in the Edit Layout page. So we're going to go ahead and highlight that now and copy it. That's a very important number there. Oh, make sure it's just that number. And we're going to go ahead and copy. By the way, this is our player here. We're going to go home, back to edit my profile here. Okay. This is where it's going to get a little bit funny, because now we have to read through all of this code and find our buttons. Where are our buttons? Usually it's not in the About Me section, because the About Me tends to be what's called a style sheet, and just kind of directs the layout into what form it's going to be, what colors it's going to be, the sizes of fonts, what types of fonts, that type of stuff, the fun stuff. we're going to look for the buttons. Let's see here. I'm going to read through this a little. This looks like it's our... No, I don't think it's in here. As you can see here, this is our display name. It says it has this little... Let's get you closer. We'll pick a spot here. Oh, sorry. We're going to pick a spot, and let's see if we can find this on our layout. This is usually how I do it to find out which code is for what side of the page. The code usually is broken up into two. One will do one half of the page, one will do the other. But we're going to focus on trying to find where this bit of code is on our page. Let's see. Let's come out and go back onto our page. Oh, that was a mistake. Okay. Let's go back onto our profile, my profile. See, usually the code is divided between our About Me section. This will cover our About Me section here. And this over here, this whole other half of it, will be covered by the Who I'd Like to Meet or Interest. No. This is covered by our Who I'd Like to Meet, and this would be covered by our interests. So sorry. Who I'd Like to Meet on the right side of the screen, and interest is this part right here will cover our left side of the screen. So as you can see here is exactly that bit of code that we were looking for. It's this right here. So we know that the Who I'd Like to Meet section is covering this side of our screen. What we want to find is this side of our screen. So we can assume that the buttons here will be found on our interest section. Let's go back home, back to edit my profile, scroll right back down to our interest box. Let's make this box a little larger here. Drag the right corner, right bottom corner. Oh, come on. Chrome, I'm telling you, it's so difficult. Okay, let's try it now. Still not working. Okay. Give it a little bit longer. It seems to still be loading. So sorry. It seems to have just frozen on me. Let's see. Okay, give me 1 second and I will figure this out. So sorry about that. Okay, Chrome just giving me such a hard time. Okay, so we're going to go back down to our interest section here. Make that box a little bigger so we can read it, because it's a little hard to read when it's that stuck. Okay, so now we can see all the code that is in our interest section. What we're going to look for is a code somewhere would say home or gallery. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find it anywhere. No. Can't seem to find it. This is the friends section here. That's not what we need. Okay, maybe I was wrong after all. Alright, well it looks like in this case it would be in the Who I'd Like to Meet section. Let's see here. Who I'd Like to Meet. Let's make that bigger. And see if we can find that bit of code there. Oh, yep, there it is. It's right here. This is the code. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. This is the code here. all of this here. This is home. This is a button here. And message would come all the way up here. It's another button. Gallery. Here's another button. This is the bit that we're looking for. So it's just below all rights reserved is this whole bit. Oops, goodness, that's not right. Is this whole, sorry, this whole bit of code here. Okay, so we're going to work on that. And we see here, as you can see, there is these little sections here that have all of these X's. This is what needs to be changed. These are the only sections that need to be changed to our ID, which we've already copied and our computer is holding for us. So we're going to go ahead and change all of them. We can find them here. There is 1, there is 2, there is 3, and it looks like that's it. Just 3 of those X's. So let's change them now. Since I've already copied it, we're just going to highlight and paste. There it is. See, with highlighting and pasting, our code has been entered. And instead of the X's, now we see my ID right there. We're going to go ahead and do that to all of the X's. 1, did 1. We're going to do 2. Oh, wait, I messed up. I need to copy that code again. Sometimes that happens. You just go back, copy the code from the one that you've already pasted, and paste onto the other sections. Okay, so now it looks like we've done all of it. Done. Yes. Okay. So now we can make this smaller and go down, save. View our profile. We should now have a working layout. Let's try visiting the gallery. It works. We see my only picture here. And it's loading. There it is. And so let's go back and see if our other buttons work. Let's try sending a comment to myself. Sure, it works. And one more thing, if I may. Come on, Chrome, please. Here we go. Okay. We're going to go back to our layout and try message. It works. It works because it says cannot send a message to myself, only to a friend. So that means it works. That means we have now a working layout on our page.